Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, was directed by J.J. Abrams and written by a heck of a lot of other people. The film not only concludes the sequel trilogy, wrapping up the stories of Rey, Kylo, Finn and Poe, but also completes the entire saga. Or so they claim. So does The Rise of Skywalker provide a fulfilling conclusion to an incredibly expansive series? Or does this film carry on the trend of Disney having no fucking clue what the hell they're doing? Stay tuned. Alright, so where to begin? This movie was a fucking mess. The film immediately seems to want to amend the supposed mistakes they made in the last film, many of which were not even that bad to begin with. You know, if you're wondering what Palpatine is to do with this movie, well, you find out like right away. This movie wastes absolutely no time getting into things, and because of this the pacing is off the charts. I swear more happened in the first 20 minutes of this movie than the entirety of The Last Jedi. The film gives you no time to breathe, which honestly has its pros and cons. For the former, the film is a ride from start to finish, and if you're looking to just watch some Star Wars stuff happen on screen for 2.5 hours, you won't be disappointed. In regards to the cons though, there are moments when this film should have really slowed down. So many moments it clearly wanted people to be emotional about something that was happening, but you had no time to properly understand what was happening. So by the time it moved on to the next scene, I found myself asking, wait, what just happened? Quite a few times. On that note, the film relies on fake out deaths far too many times for the bulk of its emotional beats, which gets old really quickly. I do think the film wrapped up the stories of the original cast pretty well, and they were a strong point, while not actually appearing much. Lando's addition to the film was minimal at best, and I wonder why they actually included him though. Rise of Skywalker simultaneously has all the stuff happening, yet nothing really happening at the same time. Recounting the story afterwards made me realise how many beats repeat themselves throughout the film, and how if you removed a lot of them, the story really wouldn't change that much, if at all. This film seems to go back on a lot of the things that had been answered in previous movies, and whether that was their plan or not, it comes across as sloppy and uninspired. I felt like I was watching a fanfiction. I was honestly happy with some of the decisions from The Last Jedi, like Rey's parents and Snoke, but this movie goes out of its way to throw all of that out the window, only to give us different answers that leave you with an, oh, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense, but whatever, kind of feeling. A big example of one of those things are the Knights of Ren. What was the point of them? They did nothing the entire film other than look menacing, only to ultimately mean nothing. Weren't they former Jedi as well or something? That could have been interesting to explore. Oh well. This movie finally delves into Jedi and the Sith more as well, in an attempt to bring some ultimate conclusion to the story across the movies. Whether you think it was good, I'll leave to you, but the film thinks its answers are a lot deeper than they really are. I think the film could have benefited from slowing down at times to pick apart the ideologies of both these factions. What I will say though is that this film was really entertaining from start to finish. The effects, both practical and digital, were astounding. The dialogue was pretty fun too, and it's always good to have that classic Star Wars banter back and forth between the characters. I will say though, this film had a lot more cringy lines than I remember a few of the others being, and the humour was very much hit or miss. While I heard the film was going to use tracks from other films, I didn't realise how blatant and obvious they were going to be. Rather than sampling the leitmotifs from the other movies, they just straight up put entire tracks in. I don't think I heard a single original piece in this movie. For better or worse, it was fun to hear them return, but they didn't help the movie's feeling of already feeling pretty forced. Ultimately, Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker was a fast-paced throwaway from start to finish, with not much substance. The film couldn't really figure out what the point of everything was supposed to be. It's real fun, and if you're just looking to watch 2.5 hours of Star Wars stuff happening on screen, I'm sure you'll enjoy yourself. But if you want something that explores the themes and ideas of Star Wars and provides a satisfying conclusion to this trilogy and the entire saga, you might have to look elsewhere. Let me know what you guys thought and whether you agreed with any or all of what I said, or nothing at all. I've loved Star Wars ever since I was young. My dad showed me the first film, and I always will. But sometimes I wonder whether the series would have been better just being the original trilogy. On that note, I'm planning on doing a video on The Mandalorian as soon as the last episode comes out next week, but considering there's not much time till the end of the year, and the next 2 weeks for me is incredibly busy, I'm probably not going to be able to. After that, I do want to look at the sequel trilogy, and why it didn't really work, and a few tweaks here and there that I think would have made it a lot better. For now, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and if I don't see you before then, I'll see you all in the next decade. stay serious.